Welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into a critical topic, the top 10 most dangerous countries in the world. From geopolitical instability to high crime rates, these nations present significant risks for travelers and residents alike. We'll explore the factors that contribute to their danger, including conflict zones, terrorism, and civil unrest. So whether you're a seasoned traveler or just curious about global safety, stick around as we uncover the realities behind these perilous places. Top 10 most dangerous countries in the world. So before we get started, make sure to hit the like button, also subscribe to our channel. 1. Afghanistan. Afghanistan has faced decades of conflict, primarily due to ongoing battles between government forces and the Taliban. The withdrawal of international troops has exacerbated security concerns, leading to increased violence, targeted killings, and terrorism. The Taliban's return to power in 2021 has led to widespread fear and uncertainty among the population. Furthermore, Afghanistan remains a hotspot for terrorist organizations, including ISIS, which conduct frequent attacks. Human rights violations, particularly against women and minorities, have severely deteriorated under Taliban rule, creating a dire situation for many citizens. 2. Syria. Syria has been embroiled in a brutal civil war since 2011, resulting in a humanitarian crisis of immense proportions. The conflict has drawn in various foreign powers, complicating efforts for peace. Ongoing clashes between government forces and opposition groups continue to result in high casualties. Millions of Syrians have been displaced internally and across borders, leading to one of the largest refugee crises in modern history. Additionally, various extremist groups operate in the region, further destabilizing the situation and posing threats to both locals and aid workers. 3. South Sudan. Since gaining independence in 2011, South Sudan has struggled with internal conflict and political instability. The country has witnessed violent clashes between rival factions, leading to thousands of deaths and widespread displacement. Despite the signing of peace agreements, sporadic violence continues, fueled by ethnic tensions and competition for resources. Humanitarian conditions are dire, with millions facing food insecurity and inadequate health care. The lack of infrastructure and governance further complicates efforts to restore stability. 4. Central African Republic (CAR). The Central African Republic has been in a state of turmoil for several years, marked by armed conflict and political instability. Various militia groups have engaged in violent clashes, leading to significant civilian casualties and displacement. The humanitarian situation is dire, with a large portion of the population relying on aid for survival. The presence of armed groups has made it dangerous for humanitarian workers to operate, further exacerbating the crisis. Corruption and a lack of governance have hindered any efforts toward rebuilding and stabilizing the country. 5. Iraq. Iraq has faced ongoing challenges since the fall of Saddam Hussein in 2003. While the situation has improved since the defeat of ISIS, the country still grapples with sectarian violence, political instability, and terrorism. Attacks against civilians and security forces remain a concern, as various extremist groups continue to operate within the country. The lack of effective governance and the influence of militia groups complicate efforts to establish lasting peace and security. Additionally, the humanitarian situation is precarious, with many citizens lacking access to basic services. 6. Venezuela. Venezuela is experiencing a multifaceted crisis marked by political turmoil, economic collapse, and social unrest. The government's authoritarian practices have led to widespread human rights violations and the repression of dissent. The economic situation has resulted in hyperinflation, food shortages, and a collapse of public services. As a result, millions of Venezuelans have fled the country, creating a significant refugee crisis in the region. The atmosphere of violence and crime, including kidnappings and robberies, further contributes to the country's dangerous reputation. 7. Somalia. Somalia has been plagued by instability and violence for decades, largely due to the presence of militant groups such as al-Shabaab. The ongoing conflict has created a humanitarian crisis, with millions of people in need of assistance. Frequent attacks targeting civilians and government officials contribute to the pervasive atmosphere of fear. The lack of effective governance and ongoing tribal conflicts complicate efforts to restore stability and security. Additionally, piracy off the coast has further tarnished the country's reputation, impacting shipping and trade. 8. Haiti. Haiti has faced a series of crises, including political instability, economic hardship, and natural disasters. The assassination of President Jovenel Moïse in 2021 plunged the country into further chaos, with gang violence surging in the aftermath. Many areas of the country are controlled by gangs, making it dangerous for residents and travelers alike. The lack of effective law enforcement and governance has allowed crime to flourish, exacerbating the humanitarian situation. Access to basic services such as healthcare and education remains limited, contributing to the overall instability. 9. Mexico. Mexico faces significant challenges related to drug cartels and organized crime, leading to high levels of violence and insecurity. Certain regions are particularly dangerous, with cartel wars resulting in gruesome killings and territorial disputes. While popular tourist areas are generally safer, travelers must remain vigilant and informed about local conditions. Corruption within law enforcement agencies further complicates efforts to combat crime. The pervasive atmosphere of fear and violence has made it one of the most dangerous countries in the world for both locals and visitors. 10. Democratic Republic of the Congo (DRC). The Democratic Republic of the Congo has long been plagued by conflict and instability, largely due to the presence of various armed groups and militias. Ongoing violence has resulted in significant civilian casualties and widespread displacement. The DRC is rich in natural resources, but exploitation and corruption have hindered development and contributed to poverty. Humanitarian conditions are dire, with millions lacking access to essential services such as healthcare and education. The combination of violence, instability, and poverty makes the DRC one of the most dangerous places in the world. What do you think of our video? Let me know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button. Also subscribe to our channel before you go. Thank you for watching.